So let's take a look at the Floral Charm Designer Series paper. Here are all of the patterns. I love the colors that's in it. It's Berry Burst, Blueberry Bliss, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, and Timid Tiger. I do love how the B side has the colors with a very nice, almost like a tone-on-tone pattern on it. So it's, great for both card making and scrapbooking. But I just love all of the patterns in Floral Charm. So in the last class, we made some cards doing the stack, slice, and shuffle. So I will link the video to that class in the description below. So today we are going to create the it's basically a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and it is a little gift box. So I made this one just with cardstock and some simple stamping, and to put a treat, and it was for one of the daily gifts at one of the retreats that I did. I think it was National Scrapbook Day, I think. But this was just another sample using the Botanical Textures paper. And when I learned how to make this, the person who was teaching it added handles to it. But I just wanted something simple, so I used a clothespin. And these are gold. They're so cute, they're so tiny. This was, so I created this one using the Floral Charm paper and some ribbon from my stash, but I really think it's pretty. And the base is Night of Navy. So this is Happy Birthday. And I did include this little piece here so that when they can write, I can write my message, and then I can go ahead. It does have adhesive, tear and tape adhesive, and then they can go ahead and add it there and put in the little treat. And I do believe it fits a gift card and some candy. Let me grab a gift card. See that? Gift card fits in really nicely. You can tie it with the ribbon like how this was, or use a clothespin if you have it. But I just think that's really cute. Little gift box for you. And so here are my other things that I'm using. I have the stamps all ready to go from the Charming Day stamp set. I'm going to be using Pretty Peacock. And of course, you should have, there's my little clip clothespin. So I need my bone folder, my scissors, if I need to do any trimming. And then my paper trimmer. Now I do love using the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. If you don't have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, then you can use whatever trimmer you have, and hopefully you have like a scoring blade in it, or you can use a scoring tool. So here is my template, and I am going to keep it, let's see, I'm going to keep it right next to me so you can see that. And then my other papers here. So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to cut it in half at 5.5. So from one sheet of cardstock, you can make 2 boxes. So it was a really great little box little gift box to make for my retreat attendees. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some scoring. So on the 8.5 side, we are going to score at 5 inches. and then 3.5 inches. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it. So we are now at the 5.5 side, and we're going to cut and score at 1.25 inches. So what I found really easy to do was to place the paper in at 1.25, double check, yeah, 1.25, and on one side you're going to use your cutting blade, that's the black one here, you're going to use your cutting blade and cut up to 3.5, which is that score mark we made right there. So there is, let me lift it up so you guys can see. There is hopefully you guys can see that. There's a little line right there on the blade. So if you use that to line up with the measurement, you will be able to get it cut correctly. So again, we're going to place the paper at 1.25, and we are going to cut at 3.5, up to 3.5, and then I'm going to lift it up just a little bit, and I'm going to press it back down. You're going to hear it snap, so you know that it's in its place, and you can go ahead and cut. And then I'm going to take my blade down to 5 inches. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score between those two cut marks. Remember, leave the paper up at 5.25. Okay, so it's going to be like that. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Again, we're going to place it at 1.25. We're going to cut up to 3.5 for that first score mark that you made here. And then lift it slightly. Move your blade, place it back down, and then cut down to 5. And then the last thing we're going to do is score between the two score lines. Now, the next thing you're going to do is fold in one side, just like that. We'll burnish the score marks after all of our cutting is done. So I'm placing it at the 1/2 inch side so that I can cut it. We're just trimming off these little pieces. And what's great is this is the only scraps you're going to have left, just those 4 little pieces, because we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, at 1/2 inch. So that's that. The next thing we're going to cut is, I have a 4x6 piece of designer series paper. So from one sheet, you can make 6 boxes. So it would be 3 8.5 by 11 pieces of cardstock, 1 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper cut into 4x6 pieces, and then you're going to trim this down. And what I am creating right now is this piece right here, 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. So on my sample, it's this. And then the leftover scraps are going to be here, here, and I used it here. So you're using every piece. All right, so we're going to turn it so that you're cutting at the 4 inch side. We're going to cut it at 3 1/4. Now, if your DSP has a pattern that's, directional, you want to make sure that your pattern goes the right way. So on my card box, it's going to go this way. Okay, So now I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4, and I need 2 pieces, one for the front, one for the back. Okay, so that's that piece. And then this little piece right here, we're going to cut it at 3 inches. Basically in half. Okay, so, and you're going to use every little bit of that 4x6 sheet, piece of DSP. So the first cut is this one, and then we're going to cut the rest. All right. Now I also have 2 pieces of cardstock that measures the same 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside, which is these pieces right here. Okay, so before we get to all of that, let's go ahead and I'm going to move that out of the way so we don't need that anymore. Go ahead and assemble our box and do some stamping. Okay. Get my bone folder and go ahead and burnish all of my score lines. So this is going to be the front of my box, and this is going to go here. This I'm going to turn upside down. That's going to go here. Now these 2 little pieces are going to go here and here, and that is this piece. Now it may be a little bit longer, so after we glue it down, we can go ahead and trim off any excess. And then this piece will go here. See that? So we used every little bit of that 4x6. Let's see. I'm going to bring in my silicone sheet. So if I have any gluey messes, I can go ahead and get that taken care of. Now, this little piece for my, where I can write my message. And we're going to glue the piece to the front of the box. And I'm doing it so I have even margins around the DSP. Okay, I'm going to turn that over and glue that one there. Now I like using my Tombow glue, my green glue, so it gives me some time to move my piece around if I need to. Now I'm going to glue this here, just like that. So if I need to trim off, I can. I think I'm okay. Oh, just a little bit right here. Just like that. And then the last thing we're going to do is glue that box together like that. So that's the inside of the box, and we're going to decorate this first. Yeah, we'll decorate that first. Yeah, we'll do that. Now for my ink, I am using the Pretty Peacock because it goes with the, coordinates with the cardstock that I'm using. I'm looking for my scrap piece of paper. Where did I put it? Yes. Okay. I am stamping on my Stampin Pierce mat, and it makes a very good stamping surface no matter what kind of table you're stamping on, whether it be plastic or wood or what have you. So let's put a little bit of tear and tape on that. If you wanted to make a bunch of these, like what I do is, like when I'm prepping for my retreat and I'm making a bunch of them before, I can't bring them all assembled like this because to pack them all it would take up a lot of space, because I'm usually traveling from, I have to take a flight and pack everything. So you could prep a lot of them, all of them, and just keep them folded flat. And then if you place the tear and tape adhesive, or use your combo green glue, then it's ready to put together. So that goes like that, and that's going to go there. want these flaps to go on the outside. So like this. See that? So I want the glue on these sides. Now, what I like to do is like to squeeze those little corners in. So it's easier to get it to close. So I'm going to stick that in there so it's ready for when I want to have my message. And then there we go. Now, if I want to, I can also stamp something here on another piece of cardstock and decorate it a little bit more. Like I mentioned, you could add the ribbon, like how I had it on this one. Let's see if I can find my ribbon. There we go. So it's a very cute little box. Like I mentioned, it can fit a gift card. You can include some candy. You could put, what else could you put? You know, any little thing. Even like if you give someone a pair of earrings and you place it in a little pouch or something like that and stick the pouch in there, I think that'd be really cute. Or, you know, instead of, or in addition to this piece right here, you could have the one that holds the earrings to let it hang like that. And then, you know, I think that would be such a cute little way to wrap up a gift. So there we have it. And this is all the scraps that's left over. I think that's great. So I love projects like that. So I hope you like these little boxes. And I will make sure to have pictures of all of the boxes and all of the my template with the measurements and what to do. I forgot to mention to receive your October paper share kit. You just need to place an order of $50 or more on my website, and you'll get that in the mail. If you'd like an email with the tutorial, the PDF will be emailed later this week. You just need to place an order of $75 or more on my website. So with that $75 or more order, you get both the paper share kit and the email PDF tutorial. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this class, and we will see you at the next one. Goodbye.